So I just realized I've been holding the key to my own growth and success, and I haven't been using it. And the realization just hit me like a brick in the face. And let me explain why.
¡Ay, sabroso! Dale tumbao, Tony. ¡Ay, qué rico, rico! ¡Camina! ¿Cómo dice mi coro ahí? Ah, juega, juega bonito, juega con el tumbao. La verdad, juega, 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 juega bonito, juega con el tumbao. Sabroso. Juega, juega bonito, juega con el tumbao. Juega, juega bonito, juega con el tumbao. Bueno, mira. Oye, ya saben lo que está pasando, que con la orquesta ya llegué. Escucha bien mi tumbajito tan sabroso, porque tiene su caché. Escucha el
All
papi
right, so
baila y el güiro.
for those, well, most of my subscribers, damn, I didn't even get to see what that really was. Okay, anyway, so most of my subscribers don't know who I am, like personally, but like my wife thinks that I'm social. Like she's always telling, she's like, Carlos is a social butterfly. He's so social, and I am, but not by nature. And let me explain. Like I've been in customer service for a very long time, like front facing, direct customer service, and so in order to be successful, like you can't do that kind of be in that kind of job and have an attitude all day because you won't be successful. So I had to learn how to, you know, read rooms and be a people person. And then, the job titles that I've had, where I've had, I worked with people and I had to learn certain things about people and how people think in general and stuff like that. And but it's not who I am by nature. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not the type to just, like, walk into a crowd. Like, the more people around, the less I want to be in that area. You know what I mean? Like, I see, like, crowds forming. Like, I naturally go the other way. Like, I don't join conversations. Like, even when I scroll through Facebook or on YouTube, like, I rarely comment unless it, like, really, really resonated with me. Like I rarely comment, and like I'm just a quiet individual. Like when I'm home, like I sit in my room all day. Like I don't come out of my room. Like I just like that's just who I am. Like that's who I am. So I realized that I said people have been telling me, and I've been hearing people. I've been reading posts and people way back from when, like before I even moved to North Carolina, and in when I was in Texas, where when the internet was really starting to like take off, and like '06, '07, and '08, and smartphones, and like people were always talking about like networking and networking and networking, and I got it, but like I didn't get it. And what I mean by that is that, so recently, for instance, I'm a part of a men's mental health group. If you don't know, yes, I suffer from from mental health issues. Um, and so I was part of a group, and somebody commented in the group and said that he was like, "Man, I feel really lonely. It'd be nice to like have a buddy to go fishing with, or uh, do very whatever activities that us men do, and so like people were commenting, and there was a significant amount of people in the group, and I was like, and the group is worldwide, but I'm like, damn, well, shit, like if you don't put it out there and tell people where you're at and put yourself out there, then you'll never meet anybody. You know what I mean? And I'm like, there's X amount of people in this group. I'm sure some of us are close by. So I put it out there. I was like, I'm in Florida, like anybody in Florida. So not many people reacted. Um, and then I was talking to a gentleman who's seems like he's genuinely trying to help me learn and stuff like that. And he said it a couple times. He was like, well, the first thing we're gonna do is use your existing circle. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, the people you currently know. And I'm like, I don't really know a lot of people. And the people I do know, I've already like had those conversations with about, like if you know anybody that can use this, if you can just make that connect for me. And so if you're watching this and you're on Facebook, because this is going to go on Facebook too, if you know anybody that can use my service and you can willing to make that connect for me, like I'll take it from there and go from there. But anyway, so I said that, I'm like, man, I don't really know anybody. I don't really know, and the people, like I said, that I know, I've already talked to, and I've already done that. So, but it didn't occur to me, even though I made this comment and this post the other day, I was like, man, if you don't put yourself out there, nobody's gonna know. And the gentleman helping me, he said to me not 2 days ago, he's like, you have to have more conversations. And even in then, it didn't really click. I'm like, but I'm starting to realize that I can't isolate myself and want to grow something significant. Like, I have to put myself out there. I can't be afraid to look foolish in front of people. I can't be afraid to hear no. I can't be afraid to be rejected. Like, I have to, not every person, well, maybe every person is a potential client, but not everybody I talk to is going to be a client, right? So, like, some people are just going to be like, oh, wow, like, I'm glad I met you because now, I know. And then eventually what I realized is that nobody builds anything from by themselves. Nobody builds anything by themselves. Like, you need people. You need to get out in front of people. That's why people grow email lists, and that's why people build ads and stuff and pay for ads and stuff like that, is because you have to get out there and you have to tell people, hey, I'm here. This is what I do. And you know what? A lot of breakthroughs, and I'm not saying everyone is like this, but a lot of breakthroughs come from somebody saying, hey, I got somebody you should meet. Come with me. And you know what I mean? Like, and that's how it happens. And I'm like, wow, man, like, I've been holding the key this whole time, like, I could have been doing this, but something that I read that Alex Hormozy said, who I think is he's a very successful gym owner person. Like, I'm sure he's involved in other stuff, but I think that's where he got his breakthrough from, like, the gym world. And so if you don't know him, look him up. Like, he really knows his shit. And then the way he puts it to you, I don't know, it resonates with me. Like, it just sounds like he's like, no, dude, like, like the way he breaks his, like, no, dude, it's like this. Like, this is all you got to do. So anyway, he said that once. He's like, dude, meeting new clients is so simple. He's like, hey, you go to your buddy who's going to a wedding and you say, hey, you're going to so-and-so's wedding, right? And he's like, yeah. Do you know anybody that might be interested in, or looking for something like this or whatever? And he's like, he's like, make that if you can make that connect for me, I'll be grateful, and I'll take it from there. And he's like, that literally is how simple it is to do that, to meet new people. And I heard it, and it made sense, but it didn't click. And I'm like, wow, now some of you might, be like, oh, you're gonna be one of those guys. But you know what? Like, if you're into growth and you're trying to build something, like if you're into that, like you're trying to build something and you want growth and stuff like that, then you understand that it takes people. I used to think when I started this journey and I got into these coaching circles, these coaching groups, or I got into like the professional development and the small business owner, when I got into those groups and people would reach out and I'm like, man, you're just trying to sell me something. Like I can't afford what you're trying to sell me. Like, and some were, some of them were definitely trying to do that. But, others were like, man, I'm just trying to connect. Like, I'm just trying to meet other business owners out there. Like, I'm trying to meet other entrepreneurs who are trying to grow and something like that. And I didn't get it because I was so fearful that, one, that I wasn't ready to be in that circle. And two, that, like I said, they were just trying to sell me something. So, but I get it now, man. Like, you need to, if you're trying to grow, man, first of all, it's about owning your experience and owning your expertise. You put yourself out there and you say, I'm confident I can do this. And maybe it was because I wasn't confident only to those who I felt comfortable with. But now, like, I get it. And my fears are not as big as my dreams. Like, my dreams are bigger than my fears. Like, I really want what I'm trying to accomplish. And I'm realizing, like I said, like I started this video off saying that I was holding the key the whole damn time and I was holding myself back. And it was because I was worried about what people might think or if I was good enough. And in reality, I have the accolades to prove that I've done the things that I've done, I'm not rich and famous and, I don't drive a Bentley or whatever, but you know what I mean? Like, I was able to buy a car. I was able to buy a house. I was able, like I made the money I made. Like I reached a level of success that I was happy with at that time. You know what I mean? And it was all because, like I said, I put myself out there. You gotta engage. If you're trying to grow and if you're trying to grow in any form or fashion, if you're trying to see growth in any form or fashion, like, you have to put yourself out there. Gym guys that tell you want to get in shape, you got to go to the gym. Like, you can't get in shape, or you got to work out. Like, you don't necessarily have to go to the gym, but you have to work out. Like, you can't sit on your couch and think that you're gonna have the best body in the world, right? Like, so people tell you have to do the work. Like, this is what it takes to do what you want. So if you're growing, man, and you got something going on and you're trying to understand that the first thing you need to do is own your success. Make a list. I gotta take that. Okay. So real quick. So make a list of all the things you've accomplished. No bullshit, no matter how small it is. Make a list of all the things that you have accomplished and keep that somewhere close. So that the next time that doubt crosses into your mind, you have receipts of the things that you've done. So keep that close. And the next thing you need to do is put yourself out there. No, you're never going to grow you're never going to build anything unless people know what it is you're doing. And no, not everybody's going to fuck with you. Not everybody's going to, relate or resonate or whatever. And that's fine. You're not there to serve everybody. And that's cool. That's the way it is. But those that stick around, those that will support you and eventually, may become future customers or clients or whatever it is that you got going on. But you never know until you put yourself out there. So go put yourself out there. and start building. And if you need any help, I'm right here.